The science behind coffee and your brain. Welcome to Coffee Culture. Unveiled. Today, we're diving into the science behind your daily cup of coffee. Have you ever wondered what coffee is actually doing to your brain? From the caffeine buzz to mood boosts and focus enhancement, we'll break down every stage of how coffee affects your mind. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment your favorite coffee moment below because we post daily content to keep your coffee curiosity brewing. Let's get into it. When you take your first sip of coffee, the main player at work is caffeine. Caffeine is a natural stimulant that blocks a chemical in your brain called adenosine. Adenosine is responsible for making you feel sleepy. Normally, as adenosine builds up throughout the day, you get more and more tired. But when you drink coffee, caffeine sneaks in and takes adenosine's place, blocking its effects. This is why, after just 15-30 minutes, you suddenly feel more awake, alert, and ready to tackle the day. But it doesn't stop there. Caffeine also triggers the release of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This boost of dopamine makes you feel happy, motivated, and in some cases, even euphoric. It's why so many people associate their morning coffee with feeling good. Have you ever noticed that you can focus better after drinking coffee? That's because caffeine doesn't just block adenosine. It also increases the production of other important neurotransmitters like norepinephrine and dopamine, which help improve concentration, alertness, and attention span. Studies have shown that moderate doses of caffeine can improve reaction times, problem-solving skills, and short-term memory. This is one of the reasons why coffee is a go-to drink for students, office workers, and night shift employees. It sharpens your focus and allows you to stay alert during those long study or work sessions. However, the effects aren't permanent. As the caffeine wears off, you might experience a crash when adenosine starts to flood back in, making you feel drowsy all over again. If you've ever felt instantly happier after your first cup of coffee, you're not alone. Coffee stimulates the release of dopamine, which is the same neurotransmitter released when you do something enjoyable, like eating your favorite dessert or listening to good music. This is why many people associate coffee with happiness, comfort, and relaxation. But dopamine isn't the only mood booster in play. Serotonin, another feel-good chemical, is also affected by caffeine. Some researchers believe that coffee may enhance the activity of serotonin receptors in the brain, which could explain why coffee drinkers tend to have lower rates of depression. In fact, some studies have suggested that drinking 4 cups of coffee a day can reduce the risk of depression. Caffeine doesn't just keep you awake, it also makes you more motivated. This is due to its impact on the brain's reward system. As dopamine levels rise, so does your drive to complete tasks. Suddenly, mundane chores don't seem so bad after a cup of coffee. This is why so many people rely on coffee before starting a big project or tackling their to-do list. This effect is particularly strong for people with low motivation or those feeling stuck in a creative rut. By stimulating the reward system, coffee makes you feel like you're working towards something meaningful, which increases your productivity. Here's where things get tricky. While coffee can boost your mood and motivation, it can also trigger stress and anxiety if consumed in large quantities. This is because caffeine increases the production of cortisol, the body's stress hormone. Cortisol prepares your body for fight or flight, which can make you feel jittery or anxious if you drink too much coffee. For some people, this effect is mild, but for others, even 1 cup of coffee can lead to increased heart rate, restlessness, or that familiar nervous energy. This is why it's important to know your own caffeine tolerance. If you start to feel anxious after a cup of coffee, it might be time to cut back. The good news is that, when consumed in moderation, coffee may help protect your brain from certain diseases. Research has found that regular coffee consumption could lower the risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. The antioxidants in coffee, like chlorogenic acid, help protect brain cells from damage caused by oxidative stress. Additionally, caffeine has been linked to better cognitive health in old age. Some studies have even suggested that coffee drinkers have a lower risk of cognitive decline as they age. If you've ever felt exhausted a few hours after drinking coffee, you're not alone. This is called the caffeine crash. Here's why it happens. Remember that chemical called adenosine that caffeine blocks? Well, while caffeine is in your system, adenosine is still building up. The moment the caffeine wears off, all that stored adenosine floods back in, making you feel even more tired than before. The more coffee you drink, the more intense this crash can feel. To avoid it, some experts suggest drinking smaller amounts of coffee throughout the day rather than having one big cup all at once. While coffee is not classified as an addictive drug, it can create physical dependence. This happens because your brain adapts to the constant blocking of adenosine. Over time, it produces more adenosine receptors to fight back against caffeine's effects. As a result, you may feel more tired when you don't drink coffee. This is why people experience caffeine withdrawal when they try to quit coffee. Symptoms can include headaches, irritability, and low energy. The good news is that withdrawal symptoms only last a few days, and your brain eventually returns to normal. So how does coffee affect your brain? It boosts your mood, sharpens your focus, increases your motivation, and even protects against brain diseases. But it's not all good news. Drink too much and you might feel anxious or crash later. What's your relationship with coffee? Do you drink it for focus, for energy, or just for the taste? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow coffee lovers. We post daily content to fuel your passion for coffee, so stay tuned for more amazing coffee facts and tips.